6 Asians were killed. And you know, in a way, what makes it even more painful is that we saw it coming. We see these things happening.
This is such a weird statement. We saw this coming. We saw that a random person, like sex-crazed person, was going to just randomly shoot up massage parlors that were supposedly offering sexual, sex acts. Like, who saw this coming? What is he talking about?
Yeah, everyone saw this coming. I mean, yeah, come on, Noah. Also, I hate it whenever they do this. Like, I'm so outraged. What makes me so disgusted? Well, from a normal person, I would say, okay, well, yeah, you're probably disgusted by this because it's a disgusting act. But when it comes from one of these elitist progressive types, we just talked about this. He's doing this for political gain. He's doing this. He's hyping it up more than. The racism and hyping up the racism specifically, because he knows not because it's wrong in his eyes, but because it's politically advantageous for him to do so. That part is disgusting to me. So it comes off as hollow and almost immoral to me.
Do you think he's a believer though? Because I think he believes.
Yeah, I think
he
believes this.
He's like a zombie brain. Seriously, I mean
the idiot type.
Yeah, the parasite analogy is useful if you think of these ideas like giving groups some sort of advantage over everybody else. Yeah, they're feeding off of other people. They're feeding off of other people's ignorance. This feeds into the uninformed voter.
Isn't there literally a zombie parasite that like makes ants into zombies or something?
Yeah, it's a little I forget what it's like, a plant or a fungus or something like that. They based that for Last of Us. That's where they based the zombies from Last of Us from.
So there's your parasite example, Adam. It's turning people into zombies like Trevor Noah.
He only sees race. That's all he can see. Everything must be filtered through this race filter.
It's sad because with Trevor Noah, it makes sense that he would have this warped perception because he grew up in South Africa during apartheid, and he's mixed race, and I don't remember who was white and who was black, but his parents were illegally married because they were white-black couple. And so he had to like live this weird childhood where he had to pretend like his black parent wasn't really his parent, but was just a friend, because it was illegal for them to be married. So it's like he has all this history of why he would view the world that way. But then the problem is then he comes over to America, and you're going to keep that same racialized frame and act like America's the same country as South Africa is completely insane and beyond what you should be doing. And I mean, this is like when they announced Trevor Noah was going to be taking over Jon Stewart's position. Everyone was like, who is taking over Jon Stewart's position? Some guy we've never fucking heard of. Like it was such a weird choice in the first place. And now that I even think about it, it does seem pretty stupid that if you're going to have a show that's based around commentating on American politics, that you're going to have someone who literally spent most of their life not in fucking America, or at least their formative years. I don't know when he moved to America.
And a weird decision considering you had to follow up the legend that was Jon Stewart.
Yes.
I really enjoyed Jon Stewart. He was pretty good.
Yes. But this is the most inappropriate choice ever. Right. Why is he even commenting on this stuff?
Because because we could have stopped this, Adam.
We could have stopped this.
Okay, could have stopped.
Yeah, anyone could have seen this coming. Some guy shooting up Asian massage parlors. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, maybe you know someone from the future. Give him the benefit of the doubt, Dev. Come on, you don't know.
What was it? Wasn't there a movie about that where someone could see the future and see future crimes, and so they go around arresting people?
Yeah,
Minority Report. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, exactly.
He's a precog right here.
Look, Trevor Noah's right. We could have stopped this. Why is the government not investing in pre-crime, pre-cog technology? And I'll tell you why. It's because they don't care about minorities. That's
totally.
Why.
It's race. It's all racism.
With SJWs, I don't think it would be the precognition stuff. I think it would be more like the world of equilibrium, where you have these guys who can sense emotion.
Ooh.
the grammaton clerics.
Ooh. The grammaton cleric.
Now that guy right there in the crowd, yeah, he's doing wrong think right now. Arrest this guy.
I love that movie.
It's a good movie, and it's very relevant.
Good? No, amazing.
Okay. Sorry. It's an amazing movie. it's very relevant to the whole woke thing because in Equilibrium, it's very much copying sort of the communist, like everyone's telling on each other. Like parents are afraid that their children is going to tell the government on them if they have wrong think. And it's so funny because it's literally the world that's being crafted by all the woke cancel culture, is that all these people, even in their own communities, they're so terrified of voicing their opinions or saying anything outside of the accepted norm because, they could, make just one tiny misstep. They could say one wrong thing by accident. Oh, you're the bigot. You're canceled.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to go through that movie and see if you could trade the word feelings out for racism. Like everyone in that movie is just looking for racism everywhere. I think you had a racism. I think it was a racism, Dad. He looks at a puppy. He looks at a puppy and he's like, I feel racist.
There's racism going on over there. And they make you take pills to suppress your racism.
Yeah, there you go.
People have been warning. People in the Asian community have been tweeting. They've been saying, please help us. We're getting punched in the street.
Aren't they saying help us? Isn't it like blacks that are punching them? I'm a little confused here.
Well, that's what's even crazier about this whole thing is that, so he's saying that we should have known about this because for the last couple of weeks, there's been reporting on anti-Asian hate crime, which is, first of all, the real narrative here, the real reason that Trevor Noah is pushing this and that the reason media is pushing this as a race crime is because finally people have been starting to talk about the rash of anti-Asian hate crimes that seem to be going on in certain cities in America. But the problem is that these crimes have been committed often by young black males.
Yeah, black on Asian hate crimes is what I mean.
Right.
I'm just a humble caveman here.
Now,
but
some of it is just mugging, so you don't know if it's racially motivated. But some of it, they're not muggings; they're just randomly attacking people and then running away. So the assumption is that there's some racialized element there.
That's interesting because I've heard about the hate crime part. Haven't heard about much about the people who are doing the victimizing in that scenario.
Right. And so people have been pointing, like when the newspaper started reporting about this, all these anti-Asian hate crimes that have been going on, and then they start trying to tie it to white supremacy. People are going, oh, wait a minute. How is it fucking white supremacy that's responsible for these crimes when it's not even white people that are being the perpetrators of these crimes? Mm-hmm. And so for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, there's been this back and forth narrative between the mainstream media trying to blame white supremacy and people pushing back and saying it's not white supremacy. And then finally, as if it's a godsend by woke Jesus, a crazy white man comes and horrifyingly murders a bunch of Asian people. So all the woke people get to say, see, we told you it was white supremacy. You should have just listened. You should have listened. We could have prevented this.
That's why he's so angry that it's not about racism. It was just about this guy's personal problems with sex addiction, addiction, it seems. And that's why it seems like he's so angry to me. Like that's what's fueling his rage. Like, how dare this not be an act of racism? How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
And
terrible.
Even if this was an act of racism, if the situation was changed, it was an act of racism, what could anyone have done to prevent it?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't have seen this coming.
Like,
what the hell?
More guns.
Yeah, well, I don't understand. Because, like, if say 2 weeks ago when the stories started coming out about the anti-Asian hate crimes, and say all those crimes were perpetrated by white people, okay? And so people start saying, oh, there's a real problem in our country with white people attacking Asians. Okay, how does that magically prevent this exact situation from happening now? Tony96049 for $5 says, I live in Atlanta. That massage parlor was a brothel. Don't ask me how I know. Just ask yourself what was the Guatemalan man was doing there.
Don't ask any questions, okay?
Man. I don't know.
I just know. I just know stuff.
Yeah. There you go.
I went for the articles, okay?
Yeah. I went to there for the massages. Exactly.
That has come the most tense times in human history. You knew that something like this could happen. If you just apply your mind, you know that it's going to happen. This guy didn't go and kill these women by mistake. It wasn't.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
He knew what.
Wait a minute. So if you just apply your mind, you knew it was going to. So Trevor Noah, you knew this was going to happen then, unless you didn't apply your mind. You knew this was going. Why didn't you say anything, Trevor Noah? Why didn't you say anything? Okay,
I know.
with great power comes great responsibility. If you knew this was going to happen, maybe you should have said something or done something instead of drinking, I don't know, your 10th bottle of champagne that day on your private island. Okay.
Trevor Noah is Cassandra. Okay, he's there. He's trying to warn us, saying, "No, a guy's gonna shoot up a bunch of massage parlors and say it's not racist, even though it is racist because you called it the China flu. It's
Exactly.
happening."
Trevor Noah knows exactly what's going to happen after it's already happened, apparently.
Yes.
He's practically an accomplice. Did they find a MAGA hat in his car or anything? I'm curious.
Or video games. I got to condemn those video games too. The video
How
games.
crazy would it be if they find out that this guy voted like for
for
Biden?
for Biden, yeah, I was going to
Obama
say.
or
It'd
something?
be instantly
Biden.
buried. What was the political affiliation? We have no idea.
This
Yeah.
story will never be seen again. Yeah,
would be
this guy
hilarious.
wasn't following politics. Are you kidding? He could barely. He
Yeah,
could
you can-
barely stop thinking about the Tatas.
Yeah,
This guy was following lots of. He was following a lot of OnlyFans accounts. He wasn't really following
Right.
politics.
you have
Yeah.
a guy who he's so has such a problem with his weird porn addiction that he can't have internet access, that he can't have a
Yeah,
smartphone, that
exactly.
he's living with a roommate who he's like, "You need to, take my internet away from me." He's having suicidal thoughts, all based around this sex addiction. So this guy's like a nuts, and he's got some huge problems. Okay, and so if you want to say, yeah, maybe, and I don't, and I think he actually did go to an actual rehab facility. And if you want to say, yes, we could have prevented this, and that America or certain states need to have better funding to follow up people who go to these centers to make sure that they are not a danger to themselves or the rest of society. Okay, make that fucking argument, Trevor Noah. Don't make the argument that people making jokes about the Kung flu is what created the situation.
Yeah.
What he was doing. And it's so frustrating to see this keep happening in America over and over again. America sees things coming. It knows something is going to happen, but it does nothing.
My God, this person. What the hell? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have paused so soon, but it's just driving me insane. What does he think? We're all fucking mind readers here?
Yeah, like this is insane.
How could you see this coming? Like how? This is so random.
It's so brave and so easy after a horrible tragedy to say, "I saw this coming."
Well, I guess
Hindsight is
we
20/20.
could. I guess we could, if we should have known, we should have made massage parlors illegal. That's how we stop this.
Yeah, just make it
What are
illegal.
we
Just
gonna do?
abolish it.
Let's ban pornography. I guess.
No. Let's just have armed guards.
Sitch is like, no, don't ban.
No. First of all, no.
Sitch, I hear you
Let's-
loud and clear over there.
No, let's have armed guards outside of all massage parlors because we
Oh
knew
my
that this was going to
God.
happen.
Oh my
State-funded,
God.
taxpayer armed guards out of just massage parlors.
Yes,
They're all safe now.
there you go.
This is so ridiculous. This is so off the deep end.